Yeah, folks, welcome back here to my channel, Whiskey Wismar. My name is Christopher, and here on my table today, Lagavulin, 8 years old, relatively recent addition to its core range, um, was first introduced as a special release for Lagavulin's 200th year anniversary in 2016. And then shortly after was set up and established as an addition to its core range. And the story behind this, you can read it. You can read about it here on the back label of the packaging. Is that a man, a chronicler named Alfred Barnard, went to Islay. He visited Islay, and then was quite intrigued by the very scenic, picturesque site of Lagavulin, and there, of course, they tried some of the whiskies. Mind you, this was in the late 19th century, so a long, long time ago. But there, they were able to taste, an 8-year-old, which and here you can't read that. I quote. We journeyed through the village of Lagavulin, the mill in the valley. This is what Lagavulin means in Scots Gaelic. And no prettier or more romantic spot could have been chosen for a distillery. We tasted some 8-year-olds, and before starting, which was exceptionally fine. Bold red letters. So exceptionally fine is what they label this 8-year-old. Let's see if it is indeed exceptionally fine. There were other relatively recent endeavors for new releases at this age mark. So there was a 9-year-old, 10-year-old. I'm always mixed them up. Which one was the Offerman edition? I believe the 10-year-old was the Offerman, or was that the 11-year-old? There was definitely a 10-year-old as well as a 9-year-old, but I did not try those. I'm familiar with the 16. This is the Distiller's edition, which is usually 16 years as well, sometimes older. And now this 8-year-old. There's also a special release every year for a bottling in the Diageo special release line, which is always 12-year-old Lagavulin cask strength for the respective vintage. But this one is a wide release, so meaning no bottles or no limitation, and available all around the year. Okay, on the nose. Yeah, the smoke is much more intense than the 16-year-old, but it's just more vibrant. Yeah, you have grilled, flamed citrus, so limes and lemons. The menthol from the oak is present. The color is white wine. So certainly a lot of refill wood in there. I'm sure they might have had some laying around. And this suits the distillery character or distillates from Islay South Coast quite well, I reckon. Sometimes they work really well with heavy sherry, but for those who love peat, then they just love the bare, naked smokiness of a distillate-driven release. And at 8 years of age, this is pretty, extrovert. Very smoky. But not stinky in a way that it coats everything. After a few seconds, you can decipher other stuff like the citrus, menthol, oak, a little bit of sweetness already. So there's some associations of flowers, generic flowers, so I couldn't pinpoint them. Maybe lavender, but hard to say. Definitely no roses though. and maybe even some vegetable-like undertones. Cucumber, bell peppers. But maybe that's just my imagination. So, on the palate then. Yeah, the arrival is quite sweet, not too punchy. It is bottled with 48% ABV, so quite a lot higher than the regular 16-year-old or the Distiller's Edition. And yeah, the arrival is it stays rather sweet, and the limes and the lemon from the nose, they turn more towards the maybe juicy orange, which incidentally in the finish some bitterness is arising and now turns maybe blood orange or grapefruit even. But sweetness remains, so there's always a backdrop, some counterweight to the oak and the bitterness. Yeah, the smokiness is, for me at least, very close to liquid bacon. Liquid, not a campfire, but quite umami rich. Yeah, the 16-year-old would be closer to a campfire. This is more towards bacon, yeah. Liquid bacon, but not burnt to a crisp, that is. So, yeah, it's just vibrant and vivid. Where does this bottle fit in? Well, I think, for me at least, it's in the same vein as Ardbeg 10, Laphroaig Quarter Cask, and Kalila 12. So, yeah, the presentation, the outlook, the overall profile, it's the same vein. Yeah, Lagavulin 16 always distinguished itself due to the age, very nice price, and sherry influence, and the Ardbeg 10, Laphroaig 10, or, which I find much better, the Quarter Cask, or Kalila 12, they are pretty much distillate driven, bourbon cask driven. Maybe there is a sherry cask in there here and there for some sweetness or other dimension, but overall they are rather, straight up bourbon cask matured. And this is what this Lagavulin 8-year-old offers. So if you're a fan of Lagavulin and wanted to have something similar and not delve into cask strength all of the time, because it can be quite exhausting, particularly if you just want to relax, then this is perfect. Yeah, price-wise, it's usually a little cheaper than the 16-year-old, which is funny since the 16-year-old must be quite a lot more expensive to produce. But this bottle has its following by now, and it's only been around for 2-3 years. Yeah, so great whiskey. I really enjoy it. It's something else, and if you like straight up a good dose of Islay smoke without breaking the bank, and having a good, not too weak but not too strong drinking strength, then this 8-year-old is definitely for you. So recommend it. What would I give it? I like smoky whiskies, I like peated whiskies, but I'm not the biggest fan. So this is not my first go-to when I want to have a whiskey, but sometimes I just crave it. Overall, it's a great whiskey. I enjoy it, but not in a way that I would mark it, for me personally, close to 90 or even above. So I rate this 86 out of 100. Very good, respectable mark, and I think it sits quite well at that. So yeah, if you had it before, let me know. and leave me a like or a comment. I always try to reply. So have a great week, stay healthy, and see you next time. Bye-bye.